how we need to check our hygiene at a higher perspective level, because most of our clients, they needed a very clean material, and failure to get that clean materials, it is as if we are going to lose most of the customers. So we are starting our hygiene out from outside the field to the greenhouse. So you find that I wanted my visitors, whenever they come in the farm, they look the perspective view of the farm, and they become impressed with what we are seeing, what they are seeing before even they enter into the greenhouses. So whatever we are doing outside is the same work that we are doing inside, because we wanted to eradicate issues of agrobacterial on the farm, because currently agrobacteria is a disease which normally hinder the growth of rose flowers across. So if it takes some percentage of your production, so with us, we wanted to send the clean materials to our clients. You are allowed, before you enter into this greenhouse, at least you step on this water, because we don't know where you came from. Maybe you have some of the pathogens which you wanted to remain before you enter into the greenhouse. So welcome, guys, and let's step on the water.
Let me step on the
Yeah.
water. It's okay.
Come in. Upon stepping on the water, now you are in our show greenhouse. This is the commercial greenhouse, whereby with the varieties which are there, which are here, are being selected. So once you've stepped in here, there's also this gel. You have to sterilize yourself well, because we believe at one point, or at one given point, you will be touching our crop. So we want to sterilize yourself, so that if at all you touch our crop, then there's no any other pathogen which might remain in that. All this we are doing because of the agrobacteria management. Remember, agrobacteria is being found on the system of the crop. And if you have agrobacteria, you are in a trouble, because the crop might look clean, but remember, it is in the system. Client A or B will require for budwood. So if I harvested that budwood and supply to him, the moment they will be doing their propagation unit in order to multiply that productivity, is when now the agrobacterial gas are germinating. And it is a setback both to the breeder and to the clients, because the clients will be able to lose. So you find that we set a standard here, whereby we dip ourselves, we sterilize ourselves. Our employees are also being provided with 2 PPEs within the given greenhouses. Like in this greenhouse, each and every employee has 2 PPEs. These PPEs, we normally clean them twice in a week, so that if at all there are some fungal or pathogens, it cannot circulate within. So we clean greenhouse by greenhouse. Not that we are taking all the PPEs and we are cleaning together. No, we don't know the infestation in the other house, and we don't know the level of the infestation in the other house. So we take greenhouse by greenhouse, then we clean separately, then we move to a greenhouse, another greenhouse. When it comes to the secateurs, that is the apparatus whereby we use to harvest the crop with. That secateurs, each and every harvester has 2 secateurs. So these people, they normally have the harvesting deep solution water, whereby if they have harvested, they are starting harvesting their flowers. This secateur will be dipped with this solution. Then they harvest up to that end. If they come, they will leave these secateurs here, then go to the other side and use another secateur to harvest on this side. So they harvest while dipping. So that's a way also of controlling the spread of agrobacteria, if at all you have. But the best important thing for agrobacteria management is hygiene. Hygiene is the key. And again in the farm, we brought issues whereby we scout and rescout only agrobacteria. And this one we are doing with the farm staff per greenhouses. So that if at all, by bad luck, one of our staff have found agrobacteria, a plant which is infested with agrobacteria, we take that, the whole plant, and we throw. We take that risk of throwing everything because we don't want it to be in circulation, you see?
Yes.
Thereafter, at the end, we will be able to record the variety. Then we update the file. Then after every 4 weeks, that is once in a month, I normally circulate that report to each and every person to be aware that in this particular greenhouse, a variety A or B was, we found agrobacteria, the amount of the agrobacteria, and where we found that agrobacteria. So that we record in this, and we study the variety as far as their susceptibility are concerned in terms of agrobacteria. In such cases, after we have realized that maybe variety A is having agrobacteria and it is very much susceptible, you find that we try to use it, the top eyes now, to propagate it. We don't propagate it normally. We use the top eyes. Remember, agrobacteria, being the fact that it is in the system, so the lower canopy is the most affected area. So we are trying to get rid of propagating the lower canopy. If at all that variety is very susceptible, then we use the top canopy. The top canopy is always safe. And with that, we mark that variety being susceptible, and all the apparatus, like secateurs, we normally issue a subcateurs for that particular variety. So this secateurs will not circulate across in order to spread it. Thirdly, we don't recycle our cocoa peat. The moment our cocoa peat is used up, remember the cocoa peat is the kind of media that we are using. So if we have pulled everything out, we throw everything, including our cocoa peat. Recycling that cocoa peat could be the pathogens of that particular variety which was susceptible with agrobacteria might circulate within the system. So we always use a clean materials after we have pulled out a certain variety with a view of replanting another one. So no more recycling in this farm. And again, the employees are also not sharing the PPEs. Just for instance, if this employee A is having maybe the gloves, you see, those gloves, we don't encourage them to move to a certain point. I just want those gloves to be used within that particular place of this employee. So that if at all there are cases of agrobacteria gall, I will just get it there, but it will not spread to the entire farm. This one goes together with my spray team, because if you find that my sprayers are using the spray hose lances, you see, and the moment they use the spray hose lances while spraying, could be maybe if by bad luck there is agrobacteria in such a one of the variety, then the lance is easily to spread this agrobacteria. So you find that the spray hose lances, what we have in the farm, this greenhouse and the other greenhouse are the greenhouses which are sharing the spray lance. But if you go to breeding, which is our heart of the farm, it has its own spray lance and the spray PPE, whereby the spray guys are also provided with 2 PPEs, basically one for breeding greenhouse and the lances are for breeding greenhouse. So there's no circulation of the spray lances across. With all those, we are strict with agrobacteria because it is something which we do on weekly basis and we take the record on that. And it has really helped the United Selection to reduce agrobacteria in the farm. In fact, I can say we are almost close to zero based on the result that we are getting now. our graph for Agrobacteria is really moving better. So the level of hygiene is something which we are managing. Thrips normally likes this kind of hostility. They multiply very fast, and at the same time mites is also aware, likes about it. So you find that in the farm, we are 100% IPM. That is integrated pest management. So we use the beneficiaries to feed on the predators. Yeah. So things like mites, you find that we normally do our top up of the Spidex, the phytocillars, on every week. Then things like thrips, we use cucumeris, Swastika colifornicas, Montideresis. Those ones we get from real IPM, and Copat. And again, the best important thing is to humidify the greenhouse, because when the greenhouse is very hot like this, the population of thrips is becoming very high. So we ensure that we have showered the greenhouse just to level the humidity. That one is also helping us to control this. Again, if it in terms of sprayment, we are reducing the sprayment interval, and we are changing the chemicals molecules back-to-back sprayment. Thereby, the chemical which we are using doesn't have resistance. Because if it develops resistance, then the control will be poor. So with the thrips, hygiene is the key. You can see the greenhouse. We have a lot of hygiene, no open flowers as such. But ideally, in this greenhouse, we wanted the open flowers. But that open flowers will guide our clients, whether the crop, how the crop looks like, when it is open, does it fade color or not. Those are the parameters that we normally have. But too much open flower is also hindering our process of maybe control of pests and diseases, but we are able to manage.